quick introduction. I do believe, I think I know all of you, but Nathalie Friedlander, Operations Manager at Temple Bethel. And joining me is
Andy Harkavy, the Director of Congregational Engagement and Communications. And I'm so excited to be here with all of you and that all of you are here with us. But I will share my screen and we can go ahead and get started.
Beginning part, we're going to start using really
so if we can lovingly ask you all to mute. We definitely have time for Q&A at the end. If you have a question, feel free to chat it in the chat box or jot them down and we will definitely get them answered.
This is a number 4 round. And if you have
Everyone's able to see the slide?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. Again, as Nathalie said, I'm excited to be here with Nathalie and all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a long time in the making. We were actually planning, I was working with Kim Katz over a year ago on trying to do a greeter training. And I think it was actually one of the first events that was canceled or postponed because of COVID. So 1 year later, a little more than a year later, we're finally back here and really excited to do this. Quick agenda, just a rundown, quick intro of tonight, the goals of the greeter program. We'll go through the roles and responsibilities and then how to sign up, as well as a few additional reminders and resources. As Nathalie mentioned, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. We'll make sure to go through a solid Q&A at the end. Each one of us is going to tag team the training, and when we're not leading, we will be monitoring the chat box. So we will all be able to answer you. I'm going to go around the Zoom room. If I can call on a few volunteers, or Nathalie, if you can help call because I can't see everyone.
Okay.
We can have a few people answer the first question. If you can share a time, anytime, it doesn't have to be at Temple Bethel. If it was, great, where you felt welcome and what made you feel this way and how did it make you feel?
Feel free to unmute or if you want to raise your hand. Looks like we got a shy group here. Candace.
Oh, I'll go.
I just unmuted. You knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
I felt welcome from the moment I stepped into Temple Bethel, and it's because people came up to me, introduced themselves, said welcome, said hello. You know, I haven't seen you around here before. Are you new? Or, you know, just noticed me and noticed that I was kind of looking around like, okay, I'm new here. What do I do? Where do I go? So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sherry, did you want to share?
Sure. I kind of tried to hide in the background for a year plus and kind of did, but really started to feel welcome when I made the announcement that I was going to adopt Haven, and all the love and support that I got the second that I did that, and from that moment on. So it was really the people and their willingness to accept us and our unique family.
Fantastic. Jeffrey?
Well, I felt very welcome right from the first phone call to Candace almost 6 years ago when Jan and I decided to move down to the Charlotte area. And after we moved down in June of 16, everybody was just so incredibly welcoming, and it really kind of blew us away. We never had board members come up and say, "Hi, I'm Evan. I'm on the board. You need something? Here's my number. Call me." What? So
Nice.
You were very welcome.
Excellent. Carol and then Joel.
Yeah, when I first moved into the area and I decided to come up to the temple, I got through the JCC. And when I first came in, everybody was very friendly, but Ilsa Weiss took me under her wing. And I basically followed her around all the time. And she made me feel very welcome. And
I'm so
she kept
glad.
introducing me to people.
Excellent. Joel? You have to unmute. There you go.
Here we go. I'm not sure how long we've been in South Carolina for over 10 years. We live in Sun City, like Carol Ritter does. And we joined a temple a number of years ago, and we've just always felt welcome. we celebrated our 50th anniversary and my 75th birthday 5 years ago at the temple, and we had about 100 people from our community join us. So we've just always felt welcome and thought it's time for us to share and welcome other people.
We definitely appreciate that.
I used to help out at my synagogue in Simsbury, Connecticut, and I always enjoyed seeing the kids there and all that kind of stuff. And I would like to be part of our synagogue because I think it's a good thing to do things like that, to just give something of yourself and to enjoy the new people that are going to be there also and have fun.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna let Andrea do the last answer to this one and we'll move on to question 2.
So we've been members over 26 years, and I also have remembered when we went to Temple and we decided we want to be members, all that, So then it was several days later, we were in Charlotte for a week and we were at the original Hornets. We went to a game at the old Coliseum and we're in the parking lot with a friend of ours trying to find a ticket. And 2 people came up to us that had met us a couple days before at Temple, and they had tickets to get rid of, and they remembered us, and they gave us their court-sized seats, and they would not take any money. And it was just that fact that they remembered meeting us and welcomed us. And I remember that was when we felt like, all right, we are making the right decision to relocate to Charlotte and to join Temple Bethel. We just thought that was the coolest thing, that's what they did for us.
That is very cool. Excellent. Thank you all for sharing.
Lovely. And now we'll dive into question number 2. Share a time where you felt unwelcome. What made you feel this way and how did it make you feel? And again, these don't have to be at Bethel. If you want to raise your hand.
Go ahead, Joel.
We've never felt unwelcome, ever. It's both of us.
Right.
We've just never felt unwelcome.
Nice. Ginger, did you have your hand up?
Figure out the technology. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Sorry I'm a little late. I've never felt unwelcome at Temple Bethel. I can say when we were in person, the high holy days are always a stressful but joyous time for all. And I would definitely get some longer looks from some congregants, just sort of like, are you sure you're in the right place? Do you need help with the prayer book? People being helpful, but at times it could come across as, are you supposed to be here, kind of thing. And I can count on, one finger the amount of times that it's happened, but it happened.
Ginger, I appreciate you saying that. I think it's unfortunate to hear, and I'm happy you shared it, and it's actually part of this training, so I appreciate you bringing that up. Andrea, your hand is raised again.
With Janice too.
Yeah, this was also an old story. This was when our kids were small and we would go to services on Friday night, and our kid, we both worked outside the home and we did not want to have our kids in the babysitting the whole time. So we came in and we got a lot of looks as our kids made noise. And I probably only went to services on a Friday night, probably less than 5 times, because we didn't feel welcome with our children. Again, that was a long time. I try very much to make sure I don't treat people that way, but it was not nice.
Thank you. That's, again, a good point. We are a congregation for all ages. Janice, you have your hand raised as well.
Yes. When we first started going, we had a friend who went to Temple that I had gone to high school with, and I felt welcome then. And then she stopped coming to Temple, and then there was quite a period there that we would come every Friday night, and no one ever spoke to us or anything. And we did think about not coming back at one time. We did feel a little uncomfortable, and I guess more so me than Joel. I mean, because he was born Jewish, so he he felt okay, but I felt like, well, maybe I shouldn't really be here, and that sort of thing. So there was a brief period there, but then Candace started recognizing us and speaking to us, and Nathalie, and then I felt better after that.
Well, thank you, Janice, very much for sharing. Does anyone else have their hand raised, either literal or
Marcia
Zoom
is
hand?
unmuted, Marcia.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I would just say, I'm glad some representative of the group brought up just people who don't quite look Jewish, sometimes, different stares and looks. And one reason I want to be here is to make sure that we create an atmosphere where everybody feels welcome all the time or not questioned if they're in the right place. And the second thing, as far as being unwelcome, when I moved to Charlotte probably 37 years ago, and I was active in the little Reformed synagogue, but when I came to the JCC, I did not feel welcome at all. So I never came back until I got a job there. And then head of membership for 8 years and got to know everybody in Charlotte. And it was a great experience. But so.
Excellent. Carol?
Abby and Tracy. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Hey. I got involved with the Spice group, and I thought I was going to feel very uncomfortable. And actually I wasn't. They made me feel like, like I belonged and stuff. And it was fun. I mean, I thought I was not going to be liking it. And because I didn't know anything about the area. And but I felt very welcomed.
Thank you very much. Tracy, we'll let you wrap up.
Well, I can't say the unwelcome without telling you the short welcome story. The first time I ever stepped foot in a synagogue was as a young adult with my boyfriend, Josh, who is now my husband. And we traveled down from New York to go to his cousin's bar mitzvah. Never been in a synagogue. And I decided to convert.
Wow.
During the bar mitzvah, because it was so beautiful and I felt like the whole congregation had raised this kid. I felt so welcome. The kids were running around wild and no one cared. And it was very different from the New England church I grew up in, where you had to behave and act prim and proper. So yeah, I loved it so much I became a Jew. Who doesn't look like a Jew or have a Jewish looking last name? But so I relate to that. But there have been times when we moved down from New York with our 3-year-old, it didn't work out to have her join CJP with whatever the timing was. And so my kids did not go through CJP, and I have felt through the years like moms my age, there's a cliquey group that I wasn't involved with. And I see them going out on Facebook and having, parties together and going out to dinner. I'm like, I'm kind of friends with you guys, but we didn't grow up together through the whole CJP situation. So sometimes I'd approach things and people are sitting at tables and I wasn't sure who to sit with and not really acknowledged. So that's important to me, to make people feel welcome.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate all of you sharing. I know more often than not, Bethel is more the former, where you are feeling welcome. And I think hearing all of these stories where some of you may have had experiences, whether it's at our temple or another temple, where it was questionable how welcome you felt or how much you felt like you belonged. I think you were all the right people that are here. And anyone who's going to watch this video afterwards to go through this training is going to help us make sure that we're warm and welcoming. And I know the URJ loves the term audacious hospitality. I love the term Southern hospitality, where you literally welcome everyone with open arms. So regardless of your reason being here, I'm so thrilled that you are here and that you're going to help us create an amazing feeling where, whether you're a congregant, a guest, local, somewhere from out of town, that you really feel like Temple Bethel is your home the moment you walk through the doors. So thank you all for being here this evening. We will dive into the agenda. So again, just a really quick, overview. The way the greeter training and the greeter program is going to really fit in. We have a lot of different things going on at Bethel. Rabbi Class a couple of years ago talked about a volunteer initiative. We started talking about a greeter training. Unfortunately, COVID had different plans for us. Relational Judaism is something I'm sure you have heard quite a bit, whether you're in tribes, from clergy on the Bima, where we really want to make sure people feel welcome and at home. And then obviously part of our congregational engagement strategy and our core purpose and mission. It's about helping create a relational community where members and guests are really in deep, meaningful connection and relationships with one another. Greeters, as you all and other people that sign up to be a greeter, every one of you is going to really help us nurture and create a sense of warm welcome, a safe space. We talked a little bit about inclusion earlier, hearing some of those stories, a sense of belonging. Here's where I threw in the Southern Audacious Hospitality, where we really want every guest and congregant feeling at home as they walk through the doors. So roles and responsibilities. My wife loves Disney. I've gotten into Disney, and I think that this is an amazing organization that really has customer service and greeting and welcoming down pat. So I'm using this analogy that you all are really going to be the Disney magic behind our Shabbat, or whether it's a porch program, a brotherhood program, a spice program, a SEDEC program, anytime that we are going to have an in-person event, we're really looking to have more and more congregants help us, help our guests, and help our congregants. So it may be anticipating the needs of others as they walk through the door. We want to make sure they feel cared for. We want them to feel seen. Some of you mentioned this, people are going to have their first impression, and first impressions are everlasting. So you may be the first and only personal contact a guest may have when they walk into our temple. Your role in representing our warm welcome is essential. Your positive energy and attitude will help set the tone, and hopefully it'll inspire others to do the same. Whether or not they're officially a greeter, we hope everyone takes on this attitude of welcoming the stranger and making people feel at home at Temple Bethel. You'll solve big problems, big and small, even with a smile, even if it's behind a mask. Nathalie brought up the great point of we really want everyone to feel welcome. So you can still smile. I think you can hear it in your voice when you smile. They may not see it behind your mask. So use the twinkle in your eye to show people how much you care and love that they're there. Small things could help save the day. Name tags will help people feel known. Striking up conversations with different people. Stickers for young ones or those that are young at heart. My dad is an usher both at the Braves Stadium and Falcon Stadium. And he gets like a basic hourly wage, but he loves buying stickers and giving them out to little kids. And because he's in a section that has a lot of season ticket holders, people are so excited to see Mr. Bob because they know they're going to get a sticker. So again, when you're greeting, you totally have, shine your personality. All of you are amazing people. And whether it's a Shabbat Shalom or a sticker or a High Holy Day greeting, depending on the season, really just help everyone walk through the doors and put a smile on their face. It's the end of a week. Over the past year, it could be the end of rough week. So we hope that everyone will be able to smile and relax and truly take in Shabbat or the event that they're coming for. You'll also have advanced knowledge of the building and upcoming events and important initiatives. Nathalie and I are going to work together, and our staff is going to work together to make sure that you have information that you need at your fingertips whenever you're serving as a greeter. Again, welcoming congregants as they enter. Eye contact is huge. Shabbat Shalom, if it's a holiday, happy Passover, happy Sukkot, happy Shavuot. I can't say it enough. We want people to feel at home. We'll talk a little more later about Tagonag or Onag. Stuff, as you all know, is changing by the hour, by the day, by the week. But at the end of the day, you're really going to help be our temple ambassador and greeter for the evening. A few of you brought up quite a few things when you talked about being unwelcome. And we really want to make sure that Temple Bethel is a safe space, warm welcome, and a place that's truly inclusive. So we may encounter people that appear frazzled. Some may be frazzled because they have children. Some may be older or confused, or they're differently abled and they're not familiar with our space. So think about ways that you can politely and respectfully respond and help them find the place that they're looking for, find the prayer book that they're looking for. A few people made this comment earlier. I think that we should assume everyone is there for the right reason. And I will say that I don't think there's anything I don't know what looking Jewish means anymore, because you look at the congregation, you look at this Zoom room, we look like everyone. We look like human beings, and that's what matters most. So, there's going to be a lot of different dynamics. We're going to have congregants showing up. We'll have guests showing up. There's different different family dynamics. We have many congregants who are Jews of color. We have many congregants that have adopted children from different countries. And we want to assume everyone is Jewish. We also do have people that are in the conversion process, maybe unfamiliar with Shabbat. They may be interested in learning more about Shabbat. And we also welcome a lot of our interfaith partners from all over Charlotte, and they come for Shabbat, and they may not know, and it's okay. So our job is really to be the ambassador to Temple Bethel and to be an ambassador of Reform Judaism. Again, people may be visiting us for the first time. Again, I think it's important. We will always have security at the door, but I think your job and your role as a greeter is to assume good intent. Everyone here is here for a positive, meaningful, and spiritual worship experience. Nathalie, I'm going to pass it off to you. I will stop sharing and let you do your thing.
I will share.
And I like it, Ginger. She wrote Audacious Southern Hospitality. So there we go. We'll just mix 2 taglines in one.
All right, so Andy and I put together what we envision as your greeter roles and some of the expectations. Obviously, as you guys know, things change on the dime. So we quickly made some adjustments to our slides this morning. We at Temple Bethel are requiring everyone to wear a mask. We do ask that all greeters arrive 30 minutes before an event. We will ask that you meet your Shabbat point person upon arrival at the front desk. So typically, your point person is going to be a staff person, whether it's myself or Andy, but they will, they'll look official and they'll track you down. At that point, we want to make sure that we share with you the important, relevant information for that evening, whether or not it's a special celebration, if we are having a to-go neg or an O-neg, which room it's going to be in. We're taking attendance. We're no longer requiring reservations. So come June, please join us. We're asking that you're being welcoming, and that during announcements that you should make your way to your after service post. So all greeters have a before and an after. We don't want yes, we want to welcome everybody in, but we want to also thank the folks as they're leaving the building and ensure that we're hitting you both coming and going, making sure that the points were hit. All right, we have 4 stations that we're looking at as far as greeter assignments. Our first person will be in the main lobby, again, greeting people as they come in. And then at the end of services, again, things are changing. We have a to-go neg where we've got individually wrapped cookies or fruit that you can grab on your way out the door. So the main lobby greeter would be responsible for getting that out of the kitchen and onto the front table. Come June, we might be able to open up for an O-neg. And in that case, you would be welcoming everybody into Silverman and ensuring that, they help themselves to a dessert or fruit. Our second greeter will be in the Silverman lobby before the service, and then near the front desk after, or in that general middle area. And then we're going to have 2 volunteers at the sanctuary doors. And then we would also love for you to greet and schmooze throughout an O-neg when we have O-negs. So I believe I already went over the screen. In the main lobby, again, saying hello. You want to direct the congregants as they come in to the next greeter or towards the sanctuary. And again, if we're having a to-go neg, that towards the end of the service, the Elenu or during announcements, that you're putting out the basket of individual snacks. Jared's been really kind about having those set up and ready to go. If you're in the Silverman lobby or at the front desk after services, again, saying hello, making eye contact, I think is something that's super important. Being seen, I think is really a great way to make somebody feel welcome. Encouraging them to make their way to the sanctuary. And then again, upon leaving the front desk, or when you're at the front desk, thanking them for coming. Our third and fourth greeter, a few more duties here. Outside the main sanctuary door, again, saying hello. You're standing outside the doors before and inside during the sanctuary. So the way that we're going to set the sanctuary up is that if people want to come in and sit down, the right side of the sanctuary is going to be open. You can sit wherever you want. If you are a little more cautious, and you do want that 3 feet social distance, the left side of the sanctuary is taped off so that there are groups of 5, 2 or 5, depending on your party size, with 3 feet of distance in between. So we're trying, hopefully we can accommodate everyone in their comfort level. During services, when the congregation is standing, the Torah is being read, or the clergy are giving a sermon, we do ask that as a greeter that you help refrain from opening the doors until the congregants are seated, the Torah service is complete, or the clergy's wrapped up their sermon. And soon, I believe, we will be distributing handouts as we did once before. So that will be upcoming. Security and safety. As always, we've had CMPD or Shalom Park security. We will again ask that, that we'll be requesting and typically having a security officer or police officer at the building for all services and events. And we ask that you just be aware and responsive without compromising or welcoming safety. There's always a staff person on site. If you do see something, we ask that you say something. And don't be afraid to say, may I help you? But that's like, again, you're a greeter. We want you to welcome everyone. And if you see something and you are able to do something, great. But again, not your responsibility as far as security and safety. Let a staff member know, let the police officer know, and we can gladly take it from there. TBE staff point people. So operations, that is myself, setup, logistics, maintenance. If you need something, let me know. If it's engagement, membership, event, Andy, Eden, Madeline, Francine, Tracy, Amy, Caleb, there's a couple new names in there, and they all look forward to meeting you. Sign up. All right, so the process is very simple. We are in the process of creating a Sign Up Genius. We have a Sign Up Genius. It needs a little more detail. Once you've registered, we're asking again for 4 greeters per event. Right now, we have Friday nights and Saturday mornings. And then we will continue with 2 volunteers at this point for an event, whether it be Tot Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh event, Brotherhood event, anything that's in person. So we'll have those labeled so you can see if you're coming to an event and you have an extra 30 minutes, we'd love for you to come greet. So once you're registered, I will then send you an email with any pertinent information that you might need to know, especially a confirmation. And then we ask that you help spread the word to fellow congregants. All greeters are required to participate in this training video. Super simple. We'll have it ready and up and ready to go tomorrow. Anybody that wants to do it, if you have a friend, have them call me or email me, and we gladly send them the link. We do ask that if you do sign up and you're unable to fulfill the commitment, that you find a replacement and that you notify me that you're unable to attend so that and who your replacement is. Couple things to keep in mind. We will now have all business cards of all the staff at the front desk on the or at the welcome counter. So we'll get a clear location for you on that. So anybody that's asking to speak to somebody who's not there at that time, we have a business card ready for them. We do have our TV monitors in the main lobby. We will have all upcoming events on those, and any special life cycle events will also be there. So you can always point folks out to the TV monitor. They're welcome. Everybody is welcome to take any flyers, pamphlets, information from the stand. And staff is always there. So if somebody asks you a question that you just don't know the answer to, again, like send them our way. We gladly help. We do have a first aid kit and a defibrillator on site, both at the front desk. There's a water station. We'll have bottles of water. The water fountains are not open yet. So we will have bottles of water located outside of Silverman. Yeah, I'm not sure about the bathrooms on that slide, but definitely outside of Silverman. If somebody needs water, we can help. And then we'll have Kippot and Talito available as you enter the sanctuary, as we normally do. All right, that was a lot of information. Oh, looks like some of you may have been taking notes.
Hey, Natalie, Jeffrey just asked a great question. Another couple asked me as well, just of how this is going to work with Brotherhood, who has traditionally served as ushers. The answer I previously gave, and you feel free to add to this, Brotherhood absolutely is going to be a part of this. We've had conversations with them already. The reality is we realize that Brotherhood has traditionally helped with Friday night Shabbat evening services. And with COVID, we need a lot of volunteers. And I think one of the other big things is we really want the whole congregation to feel ownership of this. Whether or not you're a member of Brotherhood, we want you to be able to serve as a greeter between Shabbat evening service, Shabbat morning service, and other cohort events. So we're really hoping that many, I'm looking at this Zoom room and we have many cohort co-chairs on this call. So this is something where Brotherhood has clearly done a great job. They're not going anywhere. They're still going to help be a part of this. And we want to open the door and expand the tent.
Oh, and I think, Jeffrey, one of the important things to note is that we're not replacing ushers. We could never replace Brotherhood. I sent a note to Kent and Brian today asking that the Brotherhood join us in this venture together. The ushers are a very important part of Temple Bethel, and definitely hoping to have a partnership that we can all work together. And I think, as Andy said, because we are opening up the greeter program to a larger number of events and things other than just Friday nights, we're hoping, nobody wants to, spread the Brotherhood ushers thin. So we definitely want to open it up and allow other folks to join.
Natalie?
Yes.
What happens if, like, we'll be wearing masks? What happens if people refuse to put masks on when they come in?
So again, CMPD will be there, and staff, whether it be myself as operations and engagement, but we'll say Andy, the two of us will also be in the lobby. Definitely not something that I feel like, if you're comfortable saying, TBE requires that you wear a mask, and we'll have masks available at the front door as well. We can point them out and, hand them a box or hand them a mask. And if they refuse, then that's where either, a TBE staff can step in and say, we need you to wear, it's our policy that you wear a mask. And if you don't want to wear one, then we're going to have to kindly ask you to leave. But we do have plenty of masks, unbelievable amount of masks available. So if somebody does show up without one, we definitely have plenty.
Natalie, when does the temple open up for the first Friday night?
June 4th.
June 4th?
Yeah. Now, part of what we'd like to do is this Friday and next Friday, if any of you are interested in doing a trial run, we have invited a few congregants to this Friday and next Friday as invitation only, so that we as a staff, and if again greeters are interested in doing a practice run, there will be an opportunity for you to sign up for this week and next week if you'd like.
We use just so everyone knows, that we use the first 2 weeks of the month. The first week, we invited the board because we as a staff were figuring out what it meant to reopen the building with all of the protocols and precautions. And then this past week was confirmation. So the confirmation students and their families were able to attend in person. And that basically allowed Natalie and I to perfect this beautiful PowerPoint that you see. And we figured the next few weeks, as Natalie said, that it's going to evolve and it's going to change. I think the last year has taught us how to be flexible and how to pivot, and we're wanting to be warm and welcoming. And we also want to make sure that if people don't feel comfortable being in person, that they have the ability to watch Shabbat from home, because some people have also enjoyed that over the last year.
Services are 7:30 like they were?
No, 6 o'clock in June. We're going to our summer schedules.
6 o'clock?
6
Yeah,
o'clock.
in June. Now 7:30 still for next week and the week after.
So by the way, what is a to-go neg?
So that would be where we have individually wrapped cookies or fruit that you can take on your way. So it's a to-go oneg.
Is that before services or
Nope,
after?
after.
Oh, so we're not doing pre-neg.
We are not. We're not really doing any food today. So, again, things could change tomorrow, but as of right now, we are not doing any real gathering in the building other than for services. Joan, you had asked about, we do have other congregants that were interested in doing the greeting program that were unable to make it. One of the reasons why Andy and I felt it was very important to record this information so that we can make that available to others.
And just so everyone knows, we'll include the link. And so we also asked people to register for tonight, whether or not they could attend. If for those of you that have noticed, we've recorded every program basically over the last year. All of this recording will also be on our YouTube Charlotte page, the YouTube page for Temple Bethel. And we will also make sure that we share it out. So all of you will get an email once the Sign Up Genius form is up and running. I have a link. I have it. I'm not sure if it's ready to go. So Natalie will tell me if I should shared in the Zoom chat shortly, and I'll have with you via email, but also if you know anyone else who is interested in greeting, we definitely want them to watch the video and sign up to be greeters.
Tracy, we do have name tags that identify that say greeters, so we'll definitely make those available. And as far as the front door fobs, I do believe that come June 1st, we'll see the fob readers turn back on. But again, the officer arrives at least 30 minutes prior to the show or to the service, so he will let you in for sure. But I do anticipate that we will turn the fobs on sooner than later.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
There was a question above, I'm not sure if we answered about, is there a suggested amount of
No.
times we want people to volunteer?
I don't like if there's a slot open, grab it. I mean, you know, I guess I don't know that I have an answer for that, Andy.
I'd say we don't want you to burn yourself out. We want you to feel totally empowered to sign up for as much as you want. I think the other thing, I know we talked specifically about Friday night. You know, Friday night has historically been the time where we've always had ushers. In addition, like some of our B'nai Mitzvah process has changed as well. So we have many B'nai Mitzvah services that are in Saturday morning. We've also started having B'nai Mitzvah services in the afternoon. So there is going to be more opportunities where we need more greeters. So I would love to have a shortage of spots for volunteers. And we'll see what that happens.
Betsy, I see your hand before you speak. So the gift shop is also looking for volunteers. If anybody, you know, if you're looking for like longer gift shop or longer volunteer opportunities, yes, the gift shop is always looking for help. Betsy.
You mentioned earlier, and I think this is something that's important. You mentioned name tags.
Yeah.
Is that something that we're going to offer for people as they come in to either to identify themselves as new and wanting to meet people with name tags, or will most people be wearing name tags? And honestly, it's hard, obviously, with masks. I'm a mask fan, but it's sometimes even hard to recognize people, you know, with.
I think great question. The goal is absolutely, as Natalie said earlier, we have some pre-made like magnetic greeter name tags. The goal is to have the little sticky name tags where people can write a Sharpie. There could be some there could be some really great opportunities to ask a little question. If it's Hanukkah, like my favorite Hanukkah memory, and you fill in the blank on your name tag. I think there's a lot of ways, like you said, when you're wearing a mask, it's hard to see the whole face and the whole person. So we want to make sure that we know each other and we also know each other's names. So yes, the goal is to make sure that we'll be able to have that. And with all of the restrictions being lifted, it will be that much easier to be able to have the Sharpies out and allow people to make their own name tag.
Yes, Joel.
Joel.
You have to unmute.
There. Can Ellen and I sign up together? We'd like to do this.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can be one spot or you can be two, whatever's.
Yeah.
You can do it together. That's fine.
After 56 years of marriage, we don't like to separate.
I love it.
You are too cute.
Andrea.
As somebody who's served in this type of capacity before, one of the things I found helpful as somebody who's doing greeting or reaching out to congregants as they walk in, sometimes like the staff can notice that, oh, somebody, you know, can you go over to and greet that person? So I would welcome that. That worked really well in the past, and I'm hoping we can kind of do that.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely been in a situation where I've recognized that somebody has come in more than once and isn't necessarily being greeted, and has found a congregant and said, hey, can you come talk to this person? I definitely think we as staff can do that. That is not a problem.
And hopefully that the more we get to know one another, I mean, there's times where if someone comes in and I know they have a preschool kid and I see Ginger or someone else who has a preschool kid, it's helping to connect people with one another. If we know that they have a college kid, I see the Seidlers, or if they're interested in social justice and you see Joel Blumenthal, it's a great thing to not only welcome the guests, but to to know each other and to know what each other's interests and passions are, and really helping people connect on a deeper level.
I have two questions. One, will there be a list of volunteers in case we have to not be there when we're supposed to and call somebody?
I hadn't thought of that, Joel, but that is definitely an interesting thing for us to put together. I think if we can get everybody to agree to, if the greeters are interested in having their name and number put on a sheet, then I have no problem sending that out to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea
And
too.
my second question is, where do we get the form to sign up for a particular day?
I have that. That is
Yep.
the perfect segue.
Excellent, Joel. Thank you.
What did he say?
Perfect.
So here's the sign up genius. Andy just put it in the chat. Now I will tell you that Tracy kindly put it together and there were some errors. I don't know if she had a chance to fix it. It will be fixed tomorrow. But if you want to jump start, you can see the sign up genius here. You can just click on it and go. But we will update it with the titles of the event, and some of the times were incorrect. So I will get that, ensure that that is fixed tomorrow.
I also just shared the video link for our YouTube page. Again, we'll send all of this out via email for the Sign Up Genius form and the video link. But if you have friends or fellow congregants that are interested in volunteering and you don't see them here, we want to make sure that they'll be able to access the video recording as well as the Sign Up Genius.
So Andy, so Joel has a great question. I mean, so here's the link for the Sign Up Genius on a regular basis. Where are we gonna, will that go out and what's happening?
Yes, I think we'll be posting it in a lot of the places and communications between the Temple Bethel Facebook group, the What's Happening emails. This will definitely be, I think, hopefully we'll be able to, I imagine word of mouth will be a big thing over the next few weeks. So you all being here now can help be an ambassador and encourage your friends. We have a list of probably 100+ people between the High Holy Day survey and previously when we were getting the greeter training up and running. We do have a solid list of people who have expressed interest. That being said, we can always take more. I think Joan made a great point. It seems like we'll need many more volunteers, and we will always need many more volunteers. So, but whether it's the gift shop or Shabbat, if you like seeing tots and the adorable little ones, you can sign up on a Saturday morning where there's tot Shabbat, and again, there's the more the merrier.
Sherry posted something about the TBE Greeter Facebook page. We can definitely look into that.
Joel, I think you were trying to talk. There you go.
What about when we're dressed in the temple? Do you want us to wear certain kind of clothes there, or there?
I would say whatever you would be wearing normally for a Shabbat service, or whatever the event is that you're greeting.
Whatever the event, yeah, okay.
No uniforms, whatever is your Shabbat appropriate attire.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I just want to say that Temple Bethel is amazing, and I'm so happy we will continue to be amazing. Like Candace and Kayla and Natalie and just all of you. I hope we're building on the warm hug that you always made me feel when we would come into Temple Bethel. So happy to help elevate that.
Thank you, Ginger. I think this is an exciting time. I mean, this is our way to not necessarily start anew, but this is a great time for us to introduce this program as we open the doors and allow everyone back into the building. And I think there's some some folks that might be a little nervous and unsure, and we definitely want them to feel at home and feel welcome. So I look forward to doing this with you guys.
We appreciate all of you being here tonight. Are there any other questions or last words? I wrote in the chat box, you all should have the Sign Up Genius, the YouTube page to share with friends. And then if you have any other questions, please feel free to call the Temple office. Natalie or I are always here to help answer questions. Natalie is going to, as the operations building manager, queen of all things not just in the building, but also online. She will probably be able to help answer your questions better than I can, but I'm always happy to help.
I have one more question.
Yes, go for it.
Andy, I'm gonna take a look on Amazon for like the masks with the smiles on them. That'd be kind of fun to.
That's adorable. I love it.
You know, yeah.
That's
I'll
so
take a
cute.
The gift shop has some really cool masks as well, depending on what you're looking for, but the smile would be fun.
I just wanted to say I had the pleasure of going to services 2 weeks ago in one of the little trial groups. And I have to tell you, I was a little hesitant at first, but as soon as I walked in that door, it just felt so good. And it was very welcoming. And so it was just like, it was so good to be home. So I'm excited to be a part of this and to welcome everybody back.
It was amazing. Even though there was a hiatus, it felt like we were just gone for a week and then all came back. Well, thank you all. We really appreciate y'all being here. This could not be done. Temple Bethel would not be who we are without all of you. So thank you very much for showing up tonight on Zoom and for showing up down the road when it matters most to welcome people as we return to our building.
It's good to see everybody. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yay.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for the
you.
chance to
Thank
do it.
you.
See y'all.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Night all.
Laila Tov.
Good week. What's left of it.
Thank you.